before there was a stadium, before there was a coach, before any of this happened, like there was a group of people that was already passionate about bringing soccer to Austin.
I mean, Austin's always been a city that welcomes soccer, right? From the youth level to like people watching game at bars, you know.
Austin es un lugar donde muchos nacimos en otro país, en otro lugar, pero luego llegamos aquí y nos trajimos ese amor por el fútbol. Y luego gente que ya se estableció acá y tuvo hijos, le transmitió ese amor a sus hijos y se convirtió en una zona en la que el fútbol juvenil es bastante fuerte.
I was a big part of just the soccer community in general. Being a soccer player myself, I knew that thousands of players, men's, women, co-ed, embrace the game of soccer. And that little dream of having a pro team would come to life. Austin was always part of every little short list whenever MLS was looking to expand. And that's kind of where the dream started.
It started just with a few of us, but little did we know that there was thousands and thousands and thousands of us that thought the same way, that Austin, Texas is a soccer city.
There was kind of, I guess, like a political movement really to bring the soccer team to Austin. So yeah, there was folks that were going to City Hall and writing their council members, and you know, I think I went to the very first meetup where they kind of came and talked about it and gave away some T-shirts and tried to, like, you know, really fill out how much popular support there was.
Just seeing how people were there waiting patiently, and it showed the city council too that everybody wanted it, everybody was there for a reason, and this is what we were fighting for, to have a site for our stadium, and that meant we were going to have a team here in Austin.
Austin FC is a reality. It will now be the 27th club to join MLS.
I think once we knew the colors, once we knew Verde, once you had the name Austin FC, once you had that image of the tree, people just flocked from everywhere. People were like, okay, how do I find out more?
I'm from here, right? I think I was born a supporter. This was the first time we've ever had something to root for the same team. It's the only time we've ever had something to call our own.
This is our city, this is our town, and this is a team that we have really a connection to, as opposed to just randomly picking a team from England to follow, you know, in a place I've never been with people I don't really know. And so I think that's where really this spirit of community and place has really led to passion and development.
Es algo que quizá el haber esperado tanto tiempo para tener la oportunidad de tener un equipo de la MLS, como que ya teniéndolo vino la explosión, esa explosión de pasión que fue la espera o el resultado de la espera por tener la oportunidad de tener un equipo aquí.
To have a culture like we do in Austin, where there's lots of Latino heritage, there's lots of Mexico fans, there's lots of USA fans. To have all that in one place, like Austin, I knew that this was going to be something huge.
En el momento que se anunció el equipo, sientes ese sentimiento, ¿no? De wow, ya vamos a tener un equipo, voy a tener con quién ir al fútbol, con mi familia, con mis amigos, y yo pienso que eso para mucha gente empezó un cambio aquí en la comunidad, no solamente de, ¿sabes qué? Voy a ir a hacer algo voluntario de ayudar en la comunidad, vamos a hacerlo con fanáticos del fútbol, no solamente en el estadio, pero afuera y en todos lados.
From there, my head and a lot of people started thinking immediately, like, what does the game day sound like? What does it look like? How do we bring in aspects of Austin culture into the stadium? And how do we get the supporter culture also out in the streets before the team comes, so that people can be ready and involved and participate fully whenever the team is here?
Even before season one started, coming out here to the construction zone, watching this place go up piece by piece, it takes every little piece. Every Verde fan walking into this stadium, cheering on this team. That's how we sold this place out every single game for this first season. The only stadium, the only team to do that in all of Major League Soccer. And to me, that's what it's like to be Verde.
Ser verde es ser familia entre la gente, porque hace un año o 2 años eran completamente gente que ni conocías.
It's crazy in a year what I've never known all these people in my life, and I would never have got to know them if it wasn't for this soccer community. Everybody's caring, everybody's giving, everybody's willing to help out.
I had no relationship with soccer whatsoever. I had no real network of people aside from people I'd worked with in the Austin area. And from the beginning, the entire draw to just becoming part of this was because everybody was so welcoming.
People know verde is green, right? And green, I think of growth when I think about that, and I think the growth of like our club and the growth of our community, the growth of our SG.
It is passion, it is pride, it's a loyalty, and verde es un sentimiento, it's a feeling, and it's a vibe that everyone in this community has created.
It's a movement, right? Verde is a platform for the unification of Austin, and we've never had that before.
It's the combination of what everybody is passionate about in the city, and I think we're lucky that we have a group that is already just really inclusive and caring and just wants the best for this community.
Just really being open and willing to listen to others and take necessary steps to make everybody feel a part of the group, to feel part of, our choir in the South End.
It's about soccer, right? But it's about other things too. Just we hang out outside of soccer games. We do community events. We have done charity events. So yeah, being part of the community has by far been the best part.
Even during the pandemic where we weren't necessarily having to be able to see each other face to face with the communication we had online, it almost felt like we just knew everybody. And so when you see someone now, finally, you just feel that you've known them for a long time.
Anytime I go to the grocery store or I'm wearing my jersey, everybody always yells out verde, and I always say listo, because it's one community and everybody understands what that word and passion and feeling means.
I've built some amazing relationships with people that, I don't know a whole lot about them, but I would take a slow knife in the back for any of them.
Being a Verde supporter to me is the family I needed here in Austin.
I think about what we do in a lot of ways is like giving people a family, giving people a friend group, giving people something to identify with.
That's what we did, and that's what we've held to. And it's really incredible, and it's amazing. It actually worked. I know that I keep saying that, but we actually did it.
Soccer is a worldwide sport, and so you want to bring a little bit of influence from the whole world. So we're doing that. We're bringing countries together.
Los que nunca han tenido un equipo de casa, ahora están viendo las tradiciones que se están trayendo de diferentes países. Es algo que yo pienso que está creando esa cultura, ¿no? entre la gente.
And Austin has always been accommodating and nice, to other people and interested in other voices. When people come to our stadium, we're excited. We're excited to see new fans. We're excited to meet new people. This is brand new for us. This has never happened before.
It's tremendous. Something I've been waiting for a long time. Been following teams in Dallas and Houston on weekends just to see a highest quality soccer that I can see, and now it's come to Austin.
Hemos visto cómo aficiones en otras sedes de la MLS han iniciado de una manera parecida y a los poco tiempo han desaparecido. Aquí se vive no solamente por el entorno del fútbol, sino que la ciudad es una ciudad en donde todo es fiesta.
The difference between a supporters group and a fan club or a fan group is usually you have people coordinating different events and just creating ideas, and I think it's a tighter knit network that it feels like a family, right? Like every time you do something and you coordinate something, you have that easy access of just calling on people and they come out and support with you and help you create big things.
What's unique here, what I've experienced here is something quite different, and it's like this loving friendliness and like joy that is almost unexplainable. Like we can have a terrible loss and I'm still smiling ear to ear and I'm still giving hugs and getting hugs.
I think that is what might differentiate it from regular fans of other teams, is that we're just excited to be here. We're very accommodating, you know, very open to anyone and everyone.
Just to be accepted that quickly and to become part of like the city as a whole, to become part of the club as a whole is, it's amazing. And I think it encompasses everything that Austin is about. It's just a bunch of individual people coming together to be part of something collectively.
La afición no solamente es esencial para el club, yo creo que la afición ha sido parte importante en todo lo que significa la ciudad. Los verdes y los grupos que animan han hecho algo que quizá yo jamás había visto en ningún otro equipo del mundo.
The supporters have really shown their colors in going above and beyond in community outreach and charitable causes.
You guys always want to do something in the city for the community as much as you guys can, and you guys invite players to do it. And you guys are open arms, and all it takes is someone just to go. Because at the end of the day, it's not just players, it's not just staff, it's not just the organization, it's the whole city that makes something special here.
Just that diverse, inclusive group, and it's endless support. They're always lifting you up and empowering you to do whatever it is that you want to do.
It's amazing, everything that they do, and just the incredible passion that they have, and just the fact that they want to share that with everybody. Like, you feel it immediately the second you meet everybody. I mean, the second you walk into the stadium.
To have a team that we could all call our own and be like, I was there for the first match. I've been there for the first goal. It's all a team concept that we can all claim and be like, this is our team. I might not have lived here my whole life, but I've been here since day one of this team.
The different supporter groups for Austin FC are La Murga de Austin, which is the musical side of things, Los Verdes and Austin Anthem, which are the larger supporter groups that have they help bring the boys to the stadium and tifo and coordinate everything. And then we have a few smaller groups that travel from New Braunfels, so Oak Army, New Braunfels. And then we have the Fighting Leslie's Beer Club. But we're all gathered together to sing the same songs and to lead the boys to the stadium with 21,000 people that we can get in here.
The thing that I've noticed here that's different than anywhere else as far as the supporters go is the y'all means all is really y'all means all. There's other places where they've got a bunch of different supporter groups and they may be fighting with each other, whereas here we're all one big family.
It's pretty self-explanatory. Y'all means all, like it really means everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Like, come through, we're all gonna be a community.
Por supuesto, yo creo que sí. Definitivamente es diversa la afición de Austin FC. Hay de todas las edades, de todos los colores y de todos los géneros que haya posible aquí en Austin.
Es la magia que hace a los hinchas, que cada uno es diferente, pero es un grupo en sí igual.
In terms of us coming together as a family to events here and being part of the Verde culture, it's just something that we get to share together every single day, and it's something that we love talking about every single day and getting excited, as match day comes up and we start thinking about what we're going to wear and who we're going to see and the songs that we're going to hear. And so it's been a great experience for the two of us to share that together too.
Me personally, I come from Mexico, that some of those supporter sections, you can't even take kids in there because they're crazy. And just being part of Los Verdes and La Murga, just having kids in there, it's just amazing because everybody takes care of them.
What I like the most is that I get to experience it with my kids. They're little, they get to grow up with this league, their first year.
I think it's funny because there are some times where I'm like, man, okay, this game starts kind of late. Should me and him go? And the one or two times that we've decided not to go, we've missed something amazing. And so it's not, whether we lost or won, it didn't matter. It was more about what we missed as a community, like hanging out in the stands, or what happened on the field.
Casi siempre hemos venido junto a todos los partidos que venimos. Lo que me gusta a mí de la forma en que se hace es que no nos podemos ver, por ejemplo, en una semana y hay un juego, venimos al juego y nos juntamos. Nos da una forma de estar siempre en comunicación aunque no nos hablamos o nos vemos.
Yeah, no, they recognized me. They saw me first, and I felt just super elated to be noticed, and I wanted to invest back into that.
It's really exciting to have an opportunity for Isaac and our family to support with Los Verdes. There's a lot of challenges dealing with Isaac and his disability, and a lot of times the places that we go or the things that we're due, he's limited in access. And being able to come to Q2 Stadium, watch the games with the teams, and know that we can be in the middle of everyone. We're not high up on the risers or way down low. We're in the thick of it, and we get to feel that energy and the vibe with the entire supporters group.
There's no pressure on me here. There's no expectations of me here. I'm just welcome and loved with open arms, and welcome to love in return. Like, I feel like this is a place where I can very safely show up and pass out hugs and smiles and tell people I love you, and they say I love you back.
And I know that there's like other places on the planet where women can't go to matches or be part of the supporter section. The likelihood of finding female capos, female supporter leaders, people maybe don't really know that it's so different in other places around the world, and that we've been working so hard for so long to create very positive atmospheres where people, you know, they don't have to worry when they come to matches. They know they're going to be in an epic, fun, safe environment.
Los Verdes does a really good job of making sure that so many different groups are represented.
I felt welcome from the beginning. And I know there's very few of us in the Black community that we've seen in a supporters group, you know, period.
There's a little bit of everything. I think that we go from tiny sub, and you have young supporters to 70, 80 years old. I've seen a lot of different people out here supporting.
All the little kids are really exciting to see, but I think it's something else to see older people, especially ones who have loved soccer and have been part of the community, to have finally soccer in their city. I feel like we've brought something to their world that they've been waiting for so long, and it's really satisfying to kind of check that bucket off of their list for them.
Austin FC came at a very interesting time. But one of the ways we grew is all virtually. We live in this virtual world where we're able to meet people on the interweb.
Especially whenever we were growing the supporter culture, we were growing it online because we physically couldn't be in the same places, really. You know, every now and then we'll have an outdoor practice, but because of COVID, we had to kind of grow online.
We always had that fear in our heart and in our mind that the season could be postponed. It could be stopped at any time because of this pandemic. So it definitely made us stronger because we were able to adapt and we were able to overcome certain obstacles that came our way.
The way that everybody already had a relationship with this team before they even played their very first game, I think speaks to the passion that was already in this town for soccer, but the amount of love and, you know, involvement that was online was, I think, what gave a great launch point for the actual games themselves.
Thinking about all the work the supporter groups did just behind the scenes, and having platforms on social media that can allow for that to happen.
And having a large community we could talk to, or sharing something online, like people were probably trying to find something to get their minds distracted.
I mean, you could really just sort of see the growth, and you know, supporter groups having more of a presence around town and all that being documented. People are starting to recognize, like when they see the Verde and Black, like they're starting to know, like, okay, like this is a thing here now.
You know, you don't expect people that you've never met before, a stadium that we haven't even set foot in worth of people, sharing something, getting on in on all the jokes that came out of that. Having that whole thing happen to kick off the season was what pulled me to this community, what pulled me to the team.
It's taken over a lot of my social media hashtags. Hasta la muerte.
Yeah, and for me, I spend far too much time on Twitter now, like in a way I didn't before, and have a lot of, and there were people like the first game, I met people that I've never seen before in the world. They were like my Twitter friends, because they were like my Twitter soccer friends that talked about the team, and to meet these people in person has been amazing.
I'm still meeting people today that I have only met virtually. Sometimes you go to the games, you don't even see them, and you know them through Slack or in the virtual world, and you're sometimes meeting them at a game for the first time, and that is an amazing feeling. And so Slack was an avenue to be able to do that. Kind of our landing spot, if you want to say that, for all new fans.
I think is what really allowed the bond to grow between everybody in Los Verdes and sort of spread what was happening in smaller groups of people that like knew each other and were at games. It allowed that contagiousness to spread via the internet in our own kind of protected, private place that ended up spilling over into the rest of the internet.
Those social media platforms, being used in the right way, have really just given, put you all on a pedestal, so to speak, to where you can really start to be seen and heard, and people can know about the work that is happening behind the scenes.
It allowed the rest of the world to see what we were creating. You know what I mean? On and off the pitch, Austin FC was making it on either ESPN FC's Instagram, or they were getting a retweet from a big name from the soccer world on Twitter.
You know, we're here for every single match, we're here every single time, and so sometimes it's really easy to forget that people are showing up for their first match ever and bringing their kids, and then seeing the band and seeing the flags and being like, what is this? What is happening? And for the social media of La Murga especially to be able to reach out to people on non-match days and be like, listen, these are the songs we're going to be playing. You guys can learn these on your own, and then when you show up, you can be with your family, be with your kids, and really experience that together and not just be on the outside looking in. It's really an important part of the growth of everything that's happening here.
I think it was after the first or second game when I was really starting to go through and post and look at some of my images. I straight up got emotional just looking at some of the shots of the fans, and it's just feeling the emotion and seeing the emotion in the pictures.
Oh, these very, professional, amazing people are just willing to give so much to show the world what Austin is about. I think that's the whole point. Is
at some points this year when we were just so excited to see each other at the next games, or I'm like online waiting to see, people posting pictures with who they're finally meeting. I had said at one point that I think if the guys just didn't show up and people were still allowed to take their seats, they would, and they would probably chant the entire time.
La Murga comienza en un momento cerca del anuncio de cuando iban a decir oficialmente ya hay un equipo de fútbol aquí en Austin, y es Austin FC, ¿no? Queríamos tener un cierto número de canciones, porras sencillas, ¿no? Y de ahí sacamos las primeras canciones muy sencillo con una tarola y un bombo.
2 years before there was even a team, the invitation of, hey, do you want to be in a band that's going to play at soccer games? Sounds really sketchy. Like, I don't know if I want to do this, but I'll show up. And what made us come back was every single person we met.
And then we just started meeting in the park, started a WhatsApp group, about 5 or 6 of us, and we just kind of got things rolling and just kept every Tuesday being in the park, practicing, trying to get the songs out, trying to write original content. And it seems like it was just yesterday, but it also seems like it was like 10 years ago.
La Murga viene de las calles de Uruguay y Argentina, y es algo de la gente, es instrumentos accesibles, es muchas cosas que son fáciles. El concepto es que sea una banda de comunidad y un sonido que tiene mucha potencia y mucho poder dentro del estadio.
Whenever we're talking about the inspiration for Murga, a lot of it's from Argentina and from Mexico. But at the same time, it's from New Orleans, right? It's from the Austin Samba School, who's inspired by Brazilian culture.
La idea era tener esa base, que a lo mejor otros equipos también ya tienen, pero te digo, tenerla de una manera más fuerte que otros lugares en Estados Unidos.
And we don't want to just replicate something. We want what already exists in a really respectful and high quality way, and then try to add our own flavor to it.
Siempre estamos pensando en qué más podemos meter que represente más a Austin, o qué más podemos meter que sea un estilo de murga, un estilo popular con el que la gente se vaya a entender, ¿no? Y algo que vayan a sentir y vayan a querer cantar junto con nosotros. Somos muy versátiles con la murga porque podemos cambiar entre diferentes ritmos. Normalmente nos gusta mantener la base y la esencia porque nos llamamos la murga, pero no tenemos problema con cambiar a otros ritmos que representan lo que es Austin.
It's either, popular songs or crowd favorites, but really we wanted to make them about Austin. Using a little bit of the community, a little bit of the music scene from Texas.
And then I see it in the stadium when we play those songs with those beats and the drums, and you just get that overwhelming feeling of I'm with my people, I'm with mi gente, and it makes you feel so proud of your culture. And
bringing it all together, it's Austin. We're a live music city. We like to go out and dance and sing, and bringing that sound just brought it all together. It just happened to work in the stadium, and that environment is, I really think, what keeps bringing people back.
Is the unifying factor. Like everybody can scream when a goal is made, but the music is what keeps people going.
And also a great unifying factor for all the supporters groups and every single individual in the stadium too. We're trying to make this for everybody.
A lot of people bring a lot of passion and their expertise and what their background has as far as like what they do in the community and what they work with, and it's great because we have a lot of band members in La Murga that on the day-to-day basis they do that as their primary job, but also take their time out of their day to bring it to the stands and bring it to the community, and I think that's amazing.
En muchos lugares son líderes de un barrio, líderes de una sección de la porra, de la barra, y aquí el capo es una persona que se gana ese respeto creando comunidad y enseña a la gente cómo se va a cantar, qué canción sigue, y eso es lo que hace un capo, ¿no? Que ayudar a que las personas quieran volver y quieran cantar y quieran aportar a lo que es la experiencia del partido.
I have a lot of energy and I like to express that to everybody else, and I feed off what people are giving me back. So more energy that comes from them, the more energy I bring, and it was just an easy transition for me to go from my day-to-day life into what I do on the stand.
Es el momento de ser un líder y de expresarte y de enseñarle a la gente qué es lo que tiene que seguir, ¿no? O sea, te saca de tu zona de confort, es algo muy poderoso y sentir lo que proyecta la murga, ¿no? Es algo muy vibrante y algo muy especial y muy fuerte.
You know what? You don't even feel like you're playing for 20,000 people. You just feel like you're in the zone and you're just kind of jiving with everybody around you and playing to what the feeling is.
I never learned to play an instrument, and the most appropriate instrument for me to play, I quickly learned was the flag. That flag is like, that's how our hearing impaired brothers and sisters experience the music to it. I mean, they can probably feel those bombos just like I do, but the flag is that visual instrument. I think it's as important as the instruments that we hear.
It's amazing on what people can learn that don't have Spanish as their first language.
El Spanglish, todo eso es algo con lo que crecemos viviendo en Estados Unidos como latinos y es algo que usamos todos los días, entonces para nosotros era importante no nada más usarlo, pero a veces quedaba muy bien en las canciones.
To merge those cultures and to say Austin isn't just a music city, it's a diverse music city.
It kind of, I think, gives an opportunity for people to realize it's not that hard, it's not that intimidating to go outside your box and learn a little bit of another language and seeing how it's powerful, and it gives you something to connect with people on.
When I first joined in, I came to the first practice and I was about twice the age of most of the members, but it didn't make any difference at all. It was like they took me in like I was one of them.
La murga es familia, entonces nos da gusto cuando venimos a prácticas y los eventos que tenemos, tocar en los juegos.
This is such a special group of people, and we've learned so much and met people we never would have without soccer being in Austin.
La Murga is the heartbeat of Austin, and that's what it feels like.
You typically don't associate art with sports, but in the world of soccer and football around the world, but I've always seen these hand-painted banners that have just been around for decades. It's just kind of part of the culture.
I think art is definitely a big deal. It's not just, showing a diehard mentality for your team, but also it's like we have to express it in different ways.
Siento que se identifica perfectamente con la comunidad aquí en Austin. Creo que somos únicos y somos diferentes a otras barras o otros grupos de seguidores en el mundo. Cada uno tiene su identidad. Creo que nosotros hemos encontrado una buena identidad.
Building all this together has been incredible, and I think it goes hand in hand. So that creativity and the support and the love, and that art, it just goes together.
It's an opportunity for us to get involved. I'm not artistically creative. I work in spreadsheets all day long. So for an artist to come in and guide us and help us, it's wonderful to just be involved in the process. And then of course, when we display it here, it's wonderful to see it. I mean, I get chills right now just thinking about it.
The Tifo moments were my favorite moments of the season. I mean, just meeting so many people in this the supporter group was pretty much a good highlight, or actually the best highlight, of the entire season, I think.
Tifo is a large display that we get to create with hundreds of supporters. It's people that have never ever painted in their life to people that are local artists here in Austin that come to every game, and basically it's gathering that community of fans that wants to support the team and identifies with the Verde and identifies with the team.
That's like a live art show that's taking place, basically, in my opinion. All the work that's been done on these Tifos, they're such massive art pieces, and then it's like this live show that occurs for, a matter of seconds ultimately, where you see it and then it's gone. To me, that's a piece of history there, because those Tifos will only live once in that respect.
I became a part of Los Verdes when I started working with them, with the Tifo. To me, that was just the perfect opportunity because I'm a soccer fan, but I'm also a muralist. So painting big murals is just it's just what I do. And a Tifo is exactly that, a large mural painted on fabric.
How can we demonstrate our passion, in this size and, for the world to see?
And having a message that's positive or that's uplifting for the team or that represents the city was really a dream come true, honestly.
It's fun showing that to your soccer friends and friends that understand and get it. But then it takes a long time for me to explain to my parents, no, Mom, I'm not playing soccer. That wasn't for my team. I'm not playing on the team.
I didn't know exactly how big Tifos could be. And doing our first one with it being so massive, I didn't think anything of it. I thought maybe that they get larger. I don't know. I didn't know then.
And for something that large, 100 feet wide, 60 feet tall, to paint that on the ground is very tricky. I had to come up with different new techniques, and it was just kind of a day-by-day type of challenge that we all had to figure out together, from where to get the fabric, how to sew it, and then I color-coded everything, and that's when the volunteers would come in and start painting.
Our first ever Tifo had so many legends, and it makes people want to search what they are, right, and look into what Austin is. And it wasn't just about us starting a soccer team, but it's also about come to Austin, come see what we're about, and come see these legends that are on our Tifo. Come see the legend that we're creating as a soccer team as well.
It hit on a lot of levels, and all the details about Austin and everything, and just seeing us have a Tifo finally in Austin was super surreal.
I think also with the Selena Tifo, that was something that was definitely all us, or especially Joel, with drawing it, but with art, it was this is us.
Artists I feel flourish here in the city, and them bringing me on board, to be a part of this and letting me create and having the feedback of others and, building all this together day after night.
And that's what we want to bring with the art, right? Every Tifo we make, we want it to be shared in different places and Austin's name to be out there, and people say, hey, look what Austin is doing.
You know, this was a brand new team in a city that doesn't have any other pro sports, and I don't think many people knew what it was going to be like on the road. Were fans going to show up?
The commitment to really making an impact, even when small, is something that, to me, it's the beautiful idea that even a small group can go somewhere in a large crowd and make a big impact.
I mean, I think it was extremely cool to see because not every team travels fans, and definitely no one travels like we traveled this year.
Even some of the further games like in Canada, which were probably difficult to get to, but there's always a group there supporting and showing up in the Verde Black, and that's amazing to see.
Getting ready for the away games, you're kind of nervous actually because this is our first year. These are other teams that are established, that they have their supporter culture, and so a lot of nerves going into it. But then once we land, and again when we're with our people, everything fades away and everything turns verde.
The giddiness of just going, getting on a plane, knowing you're going to just do something different. You get to see a new stadium, the interactions between just away fans and us, and just to be felt.
How many times do you travel with your own group of friends, right? And traveling for soccer, you get to enjoy a city, you get to enjoy seeing new things, trying new food, trying different things. And then you have a game day, or most of those days you can spend with 200 of your new best friends.
It's great to meet people from all different places, whether they're from Austin or they're from the away city, but they're supporting Austin, and you feel this instant connection. You just have this bond of supporting this team and this community.
Feels like a family reunion when you go to the away games. And then when you get to the stadium, it feels like you got to bring your energy even more than you do in here, because we got to show the other fans like what it actually looks like to support a soccer team the proper way.
You want to challenge our teams on the field, that's fine, but we're going to challenge you on the stands every single time, every single day. And so it's a great feeling to present ourselves in such a way that everybody notices us.
The energy that we bring, it really does to set an example to other supporter groups that, you know, we can do this, you can do this together, and we can really make the MLS become a lot more popular of a sport here in the US.
A historic day for Austin, Texas. Austin FC playing for the first time ever in LA.
That first one to me is the most memorable, and I think that set the tone for all the other away games. People wanted to go and wanted to be with their friends, with this community supporting.
Over 250 supporters traveled to Denver to watch their team play. They called it Den Verde.
And then we went to Den Verde, and I drank the Kool-Aid and I turned verde, and I told my husband, when we get back, I am 100% in. We're doing this.
The first time that we went there, we marched from the Capitol down to a bar that we were pre-gaming at. We had people just like stopping with it, pulling out their cell phones, recording us. Who is this green and black marching band?
We took 250 people and marched down the streets of Denver, and people were like coming out of restaurants and bars to see what was going on, because we were following the murder and like clapping and joining along, and to take that experience on the road was just incredible, and not something I expected would happen at all.
It was our first away game. It was going to be our first time seeing the team together, the first time we were going to see the team play. And to me, I was super thrilled that I was going to be able to play Zurdo and play through the game. So it was something that we have been working for, something that I joined for, and finally I was there playing music.
That game, I was going in, I wasn't even supposed to start that game, and I found out half hour before the game. And then I remember I told the trainer, I was like, Gabe, if I start today, I'm scoring today.
We went down 1-0, and then they came to attack towards the goal that we were right next to. And so I was really bummed that, you know, they didn't score in the first half, but then how much better was it for them to be able to score and celebrate like right in front of our faces.
Stroud to Houston. Fagundes with the goal! Diego Fagundes for the first goal in Austin FC history!
I am not gonna lie, I lost my mind. For somebody who never really was excited about soccer, I lost my mind.
To score first goal for this club is something even more special, that first, no one could ever take that away from me. And then second, it's something that everybody will probably remember for the rest of their lives.
That was so deserving, not just for him, but for us, because we had worked so hard to bring that support and bring that energy.
And then the celebration, I promised it to fans, so I had to say it to Los Verdes the day we played foot golf. I said, if I score, I will definitely throw the LV.
And then to see him do the LV, it was so gratifying to say, like, man, all the hard work that we're doing, all this energy that we're putting forth to you guys is helping you guys.
Being able to travel together with this new family, this new community was incredible. And then getting our first win and being able to celebrate with everybody, just something I'll never forget.
To see those people who didn't know the songs, didn't know anything, just become like completely radicalized in one weekend. I was like, oh, this is gonna be big. This is gonna be bigger than what I had dreamed for it. And that feeling was really, really exciting. I think Den Verde to me was the first hint of what was to come.
You can see that there's a lot of work and effort put into everything they do with the music, with the tifos, so they really work hard. And on game day is kind of when they get to just kind of show off.
You know, they get here, it's pretty mellow at the beginning, and then as more people crowd in, some people are coming with the drums, the horns, the chants start going, the flags start waving, and people are getting more and more energized for it. And then it really just takes off, and that moment is just jovial. Everyone's happy, everyone's in a good mood, everyone's ready to be at the stadium supporting the team. And 30 minutes before kickoff or so, when people really want to start getting their last beer in and getting to the stadium, it's really, really raging.
Hemos estado aquí desde el primer partido y se convierte de día a día, se convierte no tan solo en clientes, ya después se convierten en algo más, como una especie de amistad, porque todos vienen, me saludan y haces de cierta manera, con toda la afición también conectas. Y la vivo de esta manera, la vivo de mi trabajo, porque no puedo ir al estadio, pero yo la vivo desde aquí.
It's really cool just to see the whole area, bubble around the stadium. That whole, half a mile radius around is just like where you want to be on home game days.
There's so much anticipation and energy. We come in like 10,000% to every game and just hoping for the best always. And no matter what happens, we're gonna do everything we can to keep the crowd riled up, the team going. It's all about the sport and about the fans.
It's June 19th, and yes, it's another historic day for Austin, Texas, as Austin FC plays for the first time at their home stadium. They call it McCalla.
I feel like night was like perfect weather. The stadium was packed. There was so much anticipation built up.
Oh, tears of joy. I just cried. It was a beautiful sight, beautiful home. It was just a beautiful building, beautiful stadium. It was amazing. And it was actually really close to my house. I didn't have to fly or anything. I could just ride my bike over there. It's just amazing.
The feeling felt so surreal. It felt like I was excited. I was wanting to come over here. I've been wanting a team for Austin. And then just having that home field advantage that you talk about so much, it was exciting the entire way over here.
We would dream about eventually getting to go into the stadium and watch some soccer with our friends. And the first home game, to walk in and to see all the people there and to hear the Murga start playing and everybody start chanting, that was like, just like chills down my spine. It was amazing.
I'm sitting amongst my friends, and then when I think it was after the national anthem, that's when it's like, all right, this is it. And you kind of see those first bits of the tifo going up, like the very tips, like the tip of the independent and the bat, and it's just kind of like this thing just rising from the supporter section. And the stadium just kept getting louder and louder and louder. And
tuve la suerte de estar ahí abajo cuando se levantó el tifo, toda la ceremonia inicial y por fin Austin celebrando algo que estuvo por tiempo peleando y luego esperando a que llegara.
getting to see everybody up to Capo stands. It's just like, we're here, we did this. I mean, there was that session riding in the park. Will anyone ever show up?
And seeing that, and it was what we were blindly promoting for years. Like I said, we didn't know we were gonna have such a big support, but we could only hope and create a base that people could follow. So
I think we all knew what it was going to be, in the sense that it was going to be crazy, but you didn't know how visceral the experience was going to be until you showed up on that opening game, and it was incredible.
We knew that we had something special here. The fans knew it, the players knew it, the staff knew it, ownership knew it, but it wasn't really until that first game that everyone else got to see what we were talking about, what we've been hyping up.
I think that moment where everybody was singing, everybody was excited, even though some of them didn't know like we were gonna have a giant tifo or all the work that we had done, but it all kind of added up, and people understood like, crap, like this is what Austin is, and this is what we have here.
And now we've got an entire season under our belt, and now everyone kind of knows, okay, if we're going to Austin, this is what's gonna happen.
El estadio para mí, el ambiente es un caos organizado, es algo eléctrico, es algo que la gente se sube y se suma a cantar y apoyar al equipo, como en ningún otro estadio de los que he visto aquí en Estados Unidos.
I'm from Boston. We've got the Revolution. I've been to some Revs games. It does not compare. It's not like it is here. This is fire. I haven't seen anything like it in the entirety of MLS, so I just feel so lucky to be a part of it.
I've been to many stadiums, many games, different sports in my life. You know, we've been to Mexico-USA final. It was exciting and all, but the atmosphere that we bring at Q2 when we were at that game does not compare to what we do here.
I've been lucky to like experience really cool environments like Maracanã and Rio de Janeiro, but it's different when it's your own hometown team, you know?
It's everything that a small group of people thought it could be a long time ago, and each game is special in its own way, and it's getting better every single game.
Our environment can improve and grow and be more world-class over time, but for me, it's already the best experiences I've had watching the sport.
When I come to the stadium, like the whole outside world disappears. It's just love in many shapes and sizes, colors, socioeconomic backgrounds. Like we're just one.
You end up shoulder to shoulder with someone, you have a moment with them after a goal, you end up talking to them before or after the game. All of a sudden you realize you have a lot more in common than you thought. And then you realize you've known them for 2 weeks and you have no idea what they do or how much money they make or like whatever. Nobody cares about that here, and I think that's the best part too.
My favorite thing coming to the game is just taking in all the energy. The crowd is just unreal. As soon as Murga starts playing, it just brings something out of you that's just different than you experience in life.
When I first enter the field, I get goosebumps every game. No matter what game it is, I get goosebumps. And I don't know if that's from excitement, from the energy. It's something special that you have to feel to be there. I've been in this league for now 11 years, and I don't think I've ever felt that way.
For me, it's the best in MLS. There will be some other teams that'll try and come for that title, but all of my friends that came to Q2 and played there all looked at me after the game and they were like, wow, like this is something special.
We call the stadium Macala Place because through the city council meetings, all the paperwork and the side pitch was called Macala Place, and it's the street that runs basically into the supporter section. The sponsor, it can change eventually, but Macala Place will always be what we knew it as since the beginning.
To be in the stadium during a match feels like home. Like when we sing Macala, like I believe it. Like I mean it with all of my being.
Fast forwarding to the last game where as soon as they heard the beat to Macala, we had phones out. They knew the songs, they were swaying. I sat back that last game and I smiled and I took it all in because I know how much hard work we took into doing that and into like establishing that culture and those expectations, and to have the people reciprocate that and to say, hey, not only do we like what you're doing, but we're gonna follow you and we're gonna follow you to the end. It's like, yes, this is why we do what we do. This is why we spend countless hours and time and energy of ours to do this, to feel this moment.
Another match and another loss for Austin FC. What is happening to the Verde and Black?
Even louder when you're down. I mean, honestly, there are times that was the loudest part of the chant. Maybe that was the loudest part of the half you heard us. When I personally hear that lyric in the stands, it does give me a boost because it is just that reaffirmation of this is why we're here and this is what we're doing and we're not gonna stop.
Yeah, this year, there were so many challenges as a brand new team of who's gonna score a goal today. Is it gonna be a draw? Are we gonna win? There was just so much excitement and uncertainty. It's like, you know what? All we're gonna do is give everything that we have. And the players will do what they do, but we know what we can do. Game in, game out.
Conforme iban pasando los partidos, yo cuestionaba en mis programas, yo decía, ¿por qué están tan contentos si vamos perdiendo 1, 2 o 3 y hasta 5 partidos seguiditos?
We were down 2-0, we were down 2-1, we were down 1-0, there was no hope. The Murga was there going 90 minutes, and you look to your left and you look to your right, and you saw people going at it 90 minutes, and you're like, well, if they're going at it, if they're having a good time, I need a cheer for my team.
Everybody knew what we went through. We were going through highs, we were going through lows, we were moments where we weren't winning at home, and I think that's what players didn't take that lightly.
Especially when you lose that many games in a row, there's a lot of emotion that go into it. This is our livelihood, this is our job, this is what we do because we have passion for it.
No one likes to lose. I mean, I've always told people I hate losing more than I like winning, but it's part of the process. It's this team and the support we have for it is unconditional. So as a leader, we had to, you have to put on that tough face, because if you quit, then everyone that follows you and everyone that looks up to you up in that capital stand is going to quit too.
Is it tough? Yes, because when the season doesn't go as well, you don't want to show your face to those, but at the end of the day, we have to, because this is what brings our team together, is you guys giving us the energy and the power to go and perform.
No podemos explicarlo como medios. Tú tienes que pararte en las tribunas, tienes que ponerte donde se ponen los grupos de animación y te vas a dar cuenta que 5 partidos perdidos consecutivamente no cambian la mentalidad ni cambian las ganas de estar ahí en el siguiente partido.
They're always going to have our back. They're going to hold us accountable, like no matter what. And I think as players, we need to be able to accept criticism when we need to accept criticism, but we also need to be able to enjoy the good moments with the fans. That's what makes winning so special.
La celebración en nuestro primer año fue el jugar cada partido. Cada partido fue una aventura nueva. La afición de Austin estaba más enfocada en el partido del día y no tanto en lo que iba pasando en la temporada.
Desde el primer día hasta el último día la afición fue igual. O sea, no hubo un día más, un día menos. Y ahí es donde digo, la afición es de corazón. La afición es verdadera y se ve todos los días en todos los partidos.
You guys showed up no matter what game it was, and we always said the next one. And of course, the next one maybe didn't happen, but at the end of the day, you guys didn't quit, we didn't quit, and I think that's what made this special. The song that you guys were trying to play at the end of the game, no matter what happens, we are all together, and I think that's special.
I've never experienced anything quite like an entire fan group joining together in a song after a match like we do in tribute to the team and singing True Love Will Find You in the End together. Like that, the first time I experienced that, I was like, is this really happening? Like all these people singing the song together, like how magical is that one moment? And no matter what happens, no matter the outcome of the game, we do that every single match.
And for you guys to do something like that and you guys want to keep it going, it's something huge that we know no matter what the result is, at the end of the day, you guys have our backs. And I think that's something that everybody needs to understand.
just to think about everyone that's involved in this and how many people have been involved in this for so long, behind the scenes for so many years, and to see it grow from, just being in a parking lot and, rehearsing and being with La Murga and all these people,
The section in the stadium, it's like over 3,000. And I was really wondering, like, what's going to happen in there? Like, are people going to buy into this? Or is this just going to be a group of us and our, closest friends, and this is our thing?
Los supporters son la parte más importante del club. Yo siento que son, en realidad, son el latido del estadio. Nos ayudan a transmitir esa pasión y ese nivel de energía al campo. Y siento que los jugadores lo sienten.
We as players can tell you, we cannot hear each other. We can scream at each other. We can say, behind you, pass, cross, whatever, but we can't hear it because you guys are singing all 90 minutes.
We definitely have a voice, and if you use it in a positive way, like how the Austin FC fan base did, marvels will happen.
Para mí, la parte sur del estadio, que es la zona de los supporter groups, es la mejor zona en el estadio, en el sentido que es la zona donde se siente más la pasión y donde en realidad los seguidores del Austin FC pueden expresarse sin limitaciones. Yo pienso que no hay un lugar igual en todo Austin como esa parte sur del estadio.
Austin FC, we as a club, we were reached out to by other leagues, other major professional sport leagues in the country, from other teams in different parts of the country, asking us what happened here and how did you guys do this? Like how, looking at, the supporters, y'all, the commitment and just like level of passion that you guys have, they were seeing it.
What's really cool to me is whenever you're in the supporter section and there's like a couple moments during the match where I'll kind of just like zone out a little bit and I'll just like look at the supporter section and I'm just like, wow, like this is a slice of Austin. There's young people, old people, there's people that are Black, Hispanic, Asian.
It's a melting pot of culture. And this club has forged that into this iron ball. And they've shoved it down this howitzer, which is the supporter section. And those guys light the fuse and launch that thing out to the rest of the stadium. And it comes out with force and velocity and color, and flair and rhythm.
It's on fire. It's the best. The only reason we can play the full 90 every single game is because we get so much energy fed back to us every single time.
The energy you guys put out there, we couldn't appreciate as much as you guys would think. We could say thank you to you guys, but you guys just brought the level to top level of this league.
Having that as your own makes such a big difference, like psychologically. Like, every time you touch the ball, every time something good happens, they're going to be with you.
I mean, every time we bring someone new, all they say is they never stop. The supporter section is almost as captivating as the game.
You can tell the people who are there for the very first time, and they're kind of shell-shocked. They're kind of, what in the world is this? What's going on here? And at the end of 90 minutes, they're dancing, they're singing, they're cheering, and they're telling their friends and their peers, hey, you know what? I can't wait to get back.
When there's a goal or, just any song that Murga is playing, everybody's just joins along and you hug the person next to you, you shake their hand, you're talking to them, you throw beer and water together.
Like for real, anytime that a goal was scored and I happened to be in there with the supporters, and whenever we scored, like that eruption of energy and like pure joy, it's like a drug.
You feel those highs, you feel those lows with everybody, and it feels like you've gone to war, to battle with them in the supporter section. When you leave, if you're not drenched in beer or drenched in water and sweating and smelly, then I don't think you've done your job in the supporter section.
I thought it was going to be fun. I thought it was going to be great, but I did not expect it to be like that the whole season. It was a party every game.
Look, they're so passionate. It doesn't matter win or lose. Everybody's here. They're screaming their heads off. They're so incredibly supportive. Like, it's a supporters group, and they really, really do a good job of that.
We always ask ourselves, where's Austin going? How are we growing? But Austin FC gave the supporters a chance to take ownership and kind of expand. So I can only see the team growing with a little bit more success, a little bit more establishment.
People want in. It's new, it's fresh, it's fun, it's exciting. I don't even think people were ready for it. I think there was a large part of this town that had no idea. and it caught on and it caught fire.
You know, seeing the trees, the logos, and just seeing Verde around the city more and more, it's definitely part of the culture already, and I think that it's only going to grow.
The energy we have in the supporter section in La Morga, it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
I don't think there's any way that we can stop what has started here in Austin, Texas. There's just no way. The train is rolling too fast and we're welcoming everybody into the bandwagon.
These are the roots. This is the first year, you know, it's just the beginning of it, and it's just starting, and there's so many more people that are going to get involved. It's going to grow over time. It's, you know, it's something that's going to be passed on from, you know, generation to generation.
You know, just reminding you that perspective that it is just like the first season. In so many ways, it felt like we've been doing this for years.
I think year one was really interesting. It was really crammed in terms of home games and things we could create. It was an exhausting season, but having a regular schedule and maintaining that standard that we set that first year, I think that should be our short goal, because we want to be the best in MLS.
There's a lot of room for growth and figuring out how we can improve the process.
And we can only go up from there and out and bring more, more ideas and just elevate.
We're not trying to be the soccer city in America. We're trying to be an example of how to support soccer culture so that we can grow it in the United States.
Other clubs might have more longevity and years put in, but already now we are for sure topping any culture that exists in any MLS team in the league.
And they come nothing close to what Austin FC is. It showed how incredibly organized Austin FC's fan base was. Other fan bases will say negative things about Austin FC, but deep down, I feel like they really wish that they could see in their stadium what we see in Q2.
Their players wish their fans had as much energy and passion as we do.
It is working the way we wanted it to work, and that what we were blindly aiming for by just creating so much stuff is actually working.
I think the support is there. Everyone just wants to watch soccer, whether it's Little League or, the big leagues. And I think having a women's team here would definitely help level the playing field and grow the game here in Austin. And
a big way to really encourage women's soccer growing here in Austin is literally showing up. And they're starting to do it. I mean, we have women's soccer teams here, and I think that the more people show up, the more that other people will see that there is a want for women's soccer. I mean, we had the U.S. women's national team here. It was sold out.
Go to Texas Soccer, support anybody that's talking about NWSL to ATX or NWSL to Austin. You don't have to do a specific one, just get the name out there, get the word out there, tell people you want women's soccer in Austin.
Playing soccer for a living is the greatest gift of my lifetime, and it's not something that everybody can do. I'm fortunate enough to do it, and it's because of cities like Austin. It's because of the supporters that are willing to come out in rain, snow, sleet.
I can't tell you what's gonna happen in the next year. I can't tell you what's gonna happen tomorrow. But what I can say is that Austin FC is in a baby phase. It's year one, and we're already getting recognition worldwide. In Mexico, there's pages talking about Austin FC. In Europe, there's pages talking about Austin FC. Marca is talking about Austin FC. Argentina is talking about Austin FC. All over the world, Austin FC, Austin FC, Austin FC, and that's just year one. Wait until we get 5 years under our belt. Give us a decade, and it's just up from here. It's up.
La primera vez que me involucré con algo relacionado a Austin FC fue en una práctica de La Murga. Entonces de ahí comencé a conocer personas y me di cuenta que el sentido de comunidad era básicamente palpable. Entonces fue algo instantáneo que dije, yo quiero ser parte de esto. Y entonces combinar eso con mi trabajo, que es hacer videos, fue la combinación perfecta para mí para poder mostrar no solo a Austin, pero también al mundo lo que realmente es ser un Verde supporter.
So what drives me to make content for La Morga is the spirit, the culture, the fire, the passion. I am driven by other people's passion. So being able to record that and show other people's passions, it's crucial for me because I think that's what drives the world and that's what drives our sport is passion.
I think the world needs to see what we're doing here in Austin, because aside from being a strong support, it's a beautiful city, it's an inclusive city, it's a city for everyone, and I think it's one of those cities that I'm proud to live in and I'm proud to be a part of.
It's not just about soccer for them, it's about
having someone to share memory with, having someone to cheer us along, you guys, and having a family. So that's why I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of this family.
What it made me want to be part of it is just how everyone that was involved was passionate about it. And I think that's what a lot of people have in common, that they have the passion for the team, but also the passion for the community.
Why did I decide to be a part of the film? I mean, I suppose I really wanted to just talk about flags. I guess I could also say to make sure that the old guys are represented, or...
That is loud. Thank you, guys.
You told me 4 questions. Javi, you lied so hard.
Is this one where we're going to look at each other and see who wants to go first?
Maybe, what do you like the most of coming to the stadium here?
¿Qué te gusta más?
Appreciate it. Yeah, real. Edit that. Sweet. That was like, I literally thought the songs, you're talking about Jalisco funk songs.
I ran into a guy today in Lockhart. He had an Austin FC shirt on. I said, oh, you go to the games? He goes, not really, I just like the shirt.
I still talk to people and they're all like, man, why are they booing you? And I'm just like, oh no, like it's my last name, it's okay.
Damn, I could keep going.
Can we get some foil action?
Yeah, you want the full foil? If you really get him, he has multiple pitches.
Does it feel bad?
Now Trevor does a great impression of that because you can't hear this in the stadium.
You're supposed to be better behaved. These were your questions, not mine.
Come together and this community come together and us just to get to be a little. How dare! Professional, so unprofessional. These people I got to work with.
Of course. Thank you.
That's it, Leo. Thank you so much.
Great.